people say, oh, this shit's generic. I heard this shit everywhere. But why is your life shit? Why is your life shit? If you know so much, if everything that I teach is so obvious, why is your life just an absolute piece of garbage, right? I wouldn't trade my life for your life. There's a zero chance, a literal zero chance I would exchange my life for your life. So either I'm arrogant or your life sucks. And I can tell you it ain't the first one. What do I mean by winners win and losers lose? I get asked this question all the time. I want to share it with you today. Winners are people that everything that they do, all the habits that they instill are the habits of a winner. A winner isn't a final product. A winner is a lifestyle. A winner is a concurrent set of actions that lead you to a final destination.
If you program your body being able to enjoy something like this, being out in the cold and not getting sick, but actually being able to boost your testosterone, boost your energy levels, right? It's almost like you are defying the matrix because the matrix tells you, hey, don't go outside because you'll get sick. And that's true if your body isn't ready, right? And if you have a poor immune system and it's not robust, then yes, the likelihood of you getting sick is very much probable.
Somebody's got to do it. If you guys think this only affects 500 people, then you don't really understand how the world works, how water moves, how air flows, and it may not be your city today, but it could be your fucking city tomorrow.
He doesn't know what to do. He's like, what is that? That's armor. Whoa! Chill out.
There's so many businesses, business models, information out there that if you can harness it, creativity, right? Creativity is your ability to take information and move it together and mesh it to receive a certain outcome. That is what data sets give you. That is the power of travel. So if you're not doing it, ladies and gentlemen, fucking up. We're here in Paris. Argentina, Argentina. We're the top of Paris, rocking Argentina. Vamos,
Do you know what acquisitions means? That they bought everything. They bought it all. Every last bit of it. They bought all of it. You know how I know that they bought all of it? Chat, give me the name of a fucking company. Any company over the last years that's had an influence over our country. Any company. You know what I mean? That they bought everything? I mean, they fucking bought everything. Give me the name of a company. Any company that's publicly listed. Give me the name of a company. Give me the name of a company, chat. Somebody said TikTok. TikTok's not an American company. All right, let's start with Tesla. Boom. So what we do, okay, very simple, is we go right here, okay? And we go to holders. I'm gonna teach you guys how to run this shit. Top holders. Companies that, between these two companies, Vanguard and BlackRock, they own 11% of Tesla. 11% of Tesla. These two companies own 11% of Tesla. Give me another company.
When you're hustling for money, what's the mentality? I gotta survive. I gotta take the scraps. It's me against the world. But that mindset can't apply when you're trying to build a multi-billion-dollar business. You need to start thinking like a boss. It's no longer hustle plays, you're thinking long-term generational kingdom-style wealth. So this idea of like your brother's not eating or the people around you not being able to secure a bag because you're so hungry that you need a bag, it's a false mentality. And I see this, all the entrepreneurs that have had some sort of money come up, not all of them, but a lot of them haven't been able to shift their mindset from hustle to boss. We are here for the Capital Club VIP dinner. We like to do these every time we travel, every time we hop around the planet. We like to create situations where entrepreneurs can get together, they can level up, they can network, they can mastermind, because I understand fundamentally the power of positioning. Putting yourself in the right room to win. Luck can be created. You can create luck. You can create opportunity by putting yourself in the right place. Position yourself in a way where you can become successful. That is the key, right? To be able to level up with no friction.
You need to figure out what are your values. You need to figure out what you believe in. And then you need to set your life goal to honor those principles like a fucking samurai, dude. The samurai had their code. They had their way of being. They had their life. And their entire life was based off of training and learning how to master these principles. I know the things that I want to master. So for example, I want to be a master of my body. I want to develop what we call biohacking, which is the ability to hack your biology in a way that is natural without having to depend on big pharma, without having to depend on fucking Adderall. I don't want to do all that shit. I want to biohack because we have that potential. I'm looking at the vertical of understanding what is money and how financial instruments work in the world nowadays to position myself, to prepare myself for the future. So I think people need to figure out where they want to win in life, and you can't do a million things. Give me 3 goals. Give me a goal for your mind, give me a goal for your body, and give me a goal for your finances. Just work towards those 3 things every single day, and now you're a man of purpose.
All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because
they fucking steal everything, and they have something called fractional reserve banking.
we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they
don't have. They lend money that they don't have, and then they repurpose that money that they just printed out of thin air called ex nihilo. You can look it up, it's a Latin term. That means making something out of nothing. They create something out of nothing, and then what happens? They re-lend that money back to you with a fucking interest rate. That's how these guys get rich.
they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for too long. To add to that problem, you have moral hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. And most of the problem starts in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system. We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name. The artificial printing of money.
The artificial printing of money. And then people sit down, they work a 9-to-5 job, they work 24/7, they go to university, they get into debt, they don't understand money. They go and sit in with their financial advisors and pull out a $150,000 loan across 4 years because the government allows them to. They work a 9-to-5 job for 50 grand a year. They don't even understand what money is, why money exists, and that people can print it out of thin air. You are a slave to the system.
Which if any ordinary person did, they'd go to prison for a very long time. And yet governments and central banks do it all the time. Central banks repress the amount of interest that rates are, so we don't have the real cost of money. And yet we blame the real retail banks for manipulating LIBOR. The sheer effrontery of this is quite astonishing. It's central banks. It's central banks that manipulate interest rates, Commissioner. And plus, underneath all this, we talk loosely, in a rather cavalier fashion, do we not, about deposit guarantees. So when banks go broke through their own incompetence and chicanery, the taxpayer picks up the tab. It's theft from the taxpayer. And until we start sending bankers, and I include central bankers and politicians, to prison for this outrage, it will continue.
I was having a blast.
That shit was crazy, bro.
I was prepared for impact, but we were good.
It didn't hurt at all. Like, it was actually kind of cool.
It happens, baby. It happens to the best of us. We were immortal, the buggies weren't. That's the name of the game, baby. You remember the first day you made your first $1 million liquid cash? Nothing changes. Sure, now you have a little bit more money. Sure, you can get a nicer place. Sure, you can eat at any restaurant you want. But fundamentally, deep down, like, there is no shift as a person that day to the next day. It's a process. Just wrapped up 48 hours in Dubai, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute amazing experience. Private zoo to flipping fucking buggies in the desert. This city has been an absolute ball. It's what I like to call the big playground for adults. If you haven't made your way out to Dubai yet, it's a special place. There's something about these Muslim countries, the level of hospitality, how people move with integrity, how people move with respect, something that you won't see in the West. It's really something special. It's really interesting. So I appreciate the hospitality that people have shown me here, the level of respect, how people move here with integrity. It's really, really cool to see. It's like the Bible says, without vision, people perish. You need to have somebody that casts a vision and somebody that fulfills that vision. People need to buy into a vision. A lot of people are walking around with no vision, and you see a lot of employees that are depressed and like they don't have any purpose in the organization. That's the fault of the top. That's not the fault of the below level employee. That's the fault of the person that understands and manages the culture and the tempo of the team.
Can you be a true stoic if you're not physically conditioned?
You can't be a stoic unless you master the body. That's why we have a statue here, 300 years old, of Hercules. He's got his V line, his V cut. His legs are the size of fucking